my God.
That's not enough. You have to create, and it has to be better than what you were disrupting. That's a lot to do with an optimistic attitude after what we've been through. So, get ready.
I don't know the topic today. I try to pick something that has come to me, and so much has, and I've let so much go, and I've let so much kind of come back and go, and to and fro, so we just see. I'm going to show what I'm looking at. But it's a castle, but not really. It's more of a power station, I think, if you start doing the research where things are going with the Ark and the Covenant. I talked about a little, and I recorded a little about it. Still kind of balancing my ideas about it, but this confirms what I always believed. You see, the old method that we don't quite know how it works is starting to appear in the new to me. So if you have two locations that are quite far apart and you want to connect them with energy, they were doing it wirelessly like Tesla. And so some of these castle structures actually aren't about protecting their lands, it's about energy distribution. They're remnants of a power factory. That's where the Ark of the Covenant comes in, because that is more about technology and energy than anything else. I'm going to record that offline because this is more scenic. I want to try to use this energy here to be inspired and make the best of my time here. Not all roads lead somewhere like this. There are some really dark stories, some really dark places, some really dark people. And they have no idea that it could just be like this with a couple changes in direction. They could be here with the wind and the sun looking at the ocean. It costs nothing to make the right decision. It costs everything to make the wrong decision. And it's cost me to make the right decision. That's not a fair statement, but it's worth it, because at the end, here I am. It is not where they wanted me. It's not where they saw me. It's not where they imagined me. They are so confused, and they have stolen so much, but they don't realize that they've stolen it from everyone and from themselves all at once. I'm in Italy right now. And this younger person who had very, very good English, I asked him when he started learning English, and he couldn't remember, which tells me, everything. But he said how. He said he started learning it online. And I said, oh, and I named off the app names. I won't repeat them. He's like, no. I was playing games. Did we think of that? Just the art of socializing with audio, with strangers you don't know, playing a game, is how he learned English so well. Not school, not the apps, not a teacher per se, just socializing with people far away. That kid knows more than most of the adults I've worked with or met, because I could tell he hasn't had a serious job yet, and he has no desire for one. He has no desire for one. He's like, why would I go there? I live in paradise for free, basically. But that's the right start. And he's young enough to be allowed that answer. Some of us have already gone in and gotten out and have the scars to prove it. But he has more peace than people I've left behind. And he understands not to go looking for more than what he already has. He gets it in a way. I have no idea what, what will become of that sort of trajectory. But I have to imagine it's better than some of the millionaires I know that are not happy, that are not here, that are not sitting here enjoying this view, that it is so far away from their reality, like it was for me, that it doesn't even cross their mind as something that they're missing, let alone something attainable that they would want. We've been fed from the beginning, a lot of us. And, it's age generational given, but we all have our baggage. The generation before me was fed a line of crap too. Get a mortgage, get a loan, get a life, get married, have 2.5 kids, have a white picket fence, get a good job, get a good education. I said it all in the wrong order, which is perfect for today because that's the way we should have been thinking all along. Get the life you want and then figure out how to keep it. Don't get the things and then imagine it's going to be what you want at the end, because it won't. In my experience, it isn't. And yeah, money is important to avoid poverty. But if you miss even 5 or 10 years of your life, was it worth it? It is if you, I guess, are planning on retiring somehow and living off that. But that used to be included in doing one of these jobs. A pension, a 401k is not proven. The market goes down and you're not diversified correctly, and you're sitting here with me without the millions, all right? So know that. There's also, and it's not wrong, a correction happening. There's a redistribution that has been in the works for ages, and there is the new economy that has disrupted what wasn't working, and there is the new economy that needs to be created to replace both of those, the disruption and the old. Hopefully, that all kind of merges, right? Without a lot of angst and upset, but I don't see it some days. I think, how could we get to where we need to be without the drama and the angst and the upset? Because all of us have either bought into or not bought into, and both of them have different trajectories, but come to the same point in the road. You could say I'm projecting the hippie lifestyle after the moment, but if you look at my resume, I am everything but the hippie. My entire life has been everything but the hippie, and look where it's gotten me, to the hippie. I feel like I'm too late to be a hippie. And I also see it as a solution, because if you think about the mechanisms of control that we're dealing with and the taxation, oh, they're coming for me. If I get pooped on, is that a good sign or a bad sign? I don't know if they're here to support or heckle me. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna talk anyway. Everybody knows that. It all comes out, whether you want to hear it or not. It's just about timing. If you think I'm holding back, it's just about timing. You cannot digest what I have to say. You cannot digest what I have to say. And that's not anything from within me. It's from external to me, my experience on top of it, and everything that I get from the ethers. And for those of you that deny that that's a thing, it's the same thing as Wi-Fi. You just have to tap in the right way. You have to be awake the right way. You have to be cleansed the right way, and you have to tap in the right way. It's not all about, oh, you're special and you're born with something. No, I don't meditate for hours. I see people doing it and I'm like, what are they doing? Are they just clearing, or do they actually come back with something? I'd love to know. But it's not the kind of thing you talk about with I don't know, it's personal. It's not the kind of thing you talk about. For me, it's very personal. And I throttle what has to come out. I am throttling it on purpose, intentionally. There's a lot of things going on in 3D that have to resolve for us to move on. I'm ready. I am ready. And when the people that surround me are ready and they are there and present, let's get ready to rumble because it is on. It has been brought in. But it's not a popular thing, some of the things I have to say, and it's going to disrupt even further and hopefully cause the correction that we need so much. Because disruption wasn't enough. That's my intro and everything. You can't just disrupt. You have to create, and it has to be better and more benevolent, and it has to serve the all, for the highest of all. If you're not of that mindset when you start, if your intention is not to serve all and to serve one or a few, you will not succeed at where we're going. And that is becoming painfully obvious to some. It was not planned this way, and I had to lean into the turn. It was not about what I went through, but rather what we are all about to experience as the correction.
There are churches everywhere. There are just churches in this whole country as a church. And then there's one in the train station too. Can't we get extra Johns? It says interfaith, don't eat you. They're a little ipaboodled and they can be.